Welcome to the Wilderness Podcast. We're on episode 21. Today's January 31st, 2017. We're doing our series here, raiding into the new year. We're on part 4. So, before we begin, I'm Dills.
Hey guys, I'm Deegan.
Yeah, there we go. I always hate doing those introductions. Fucking weird, man. Anyways, moving on. How was your week?
Pretty good, got a lot accomplished. I'm feeling pretty good about this week, even though past couple days I've been pretty sick. I got a pretty mean head cold. And I'm about to hit the peak. I think tomorrow or the day after I'll be at the worst of it, and then by next week I should be okay.
Little scape overload?
Yeah, I think so. Then the grind was just too much for me.
Your brain just broke.
Yeah, maybe I'm just getting cancer from going on the subreddit too much.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. But how about your week?
Same old, pretty dull.
Yeah, I feel you.
What did you do on Runescape? Let's hear it.
So, last week I was talking about doing my quest cape, and I had, 45 or something quests to do, and I ended up getting that done by the Friday, so...
Holy fuck, that's 12 quests a day?
Yep. Something like that. I was averaging over 10 a day, and, pretty much what I did was, I, did all my schoolwork for the next couple weeks. I got so much shit, and I got really far ahead in a lot of my stuff, just because I have nothing to do while I'm down here. And so you know what, might as well do that, and I can just focus on skate and just see what I can crank out in a week or two, just if I know life it. And yeah, I got a quest cape. I got a couple of random levels. I have all requirements for my music cape, and
damn,
I don't know if I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it's basically you have to unlock every quest to get the music cape. Right?
Yeah, some of them are locked. There's a bunch locked behind Monkey Madness 2.
Yeah, so there it is.
Yeah, so I had to go and get 70 agility, 65 thieving, and I needed one other thing. I forget what it was though. Oh crap, I don't know. But yeah, I ended up getting all my requirements for music cape, and then I went and did I finally started doing hard diaries and stuff. So I got my easy, medium, and hard Kandarian diaries, or the Kandarin, nice. Whatever you want to call it. I forget what I needed that. I got that so I could get 70 agility a lot quicker, because the hard.
Man, I'm so behind in my diaries. I think I've only done Varrock diaries. I think
really,
I've done little bits here and there. Well, you just get them done as you play, so I didn't really even do them. But I've just been lazy, and every time I have a goal in mind, diaries aren't usually in it.
Yeah, I find doing the diaries is just super quality of life.
Yeah, you're right. There is a quality of life. So I'm pretty sure I probably do have a lot more than I think, because I'll find something that I really need that'll be really beneficial, and then I usually crank it out. But still, I'm level 105, and I still have just mediums. Just one medium done, I think.
Yeah. The
rest are all easies, 2 or 3 easies.
Yeah, I got a couple easies, one, I guess 2 mediums, then a hard. I have to crank out, I have all the requirements for Falador hard diaries, so I want to get that done so I can do Mole Mom and just farm that for a while and make some money.
Oh, true.
But,
wait, what does that unlock for you?
For
the Mole?
The Falador ones, what I'm pretty much wanting is, at hard, I believe it is, your Falador shield, you can use it, and you can locate where the Mole Mom is within the underground cave.
Okay.
So that makes it that increases the kills per hour by a crap ton. And then the Kandarin.
Yeah, and if you've never done Mole Mom, you're basically running around nonstop trying to find where it is.
Yeah.
Because every now and then it'll just dig and just teleport somewhere.
Yeah, and the area is pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Kandarins, it lets me teleport to the Sears Village Bank. So that's super helpful. That's the main reason why. And it does something it increases the chance of your enchanted bolts proccing. I don't know if it's just the mithril the water, the whirlpool thing by the Barbarian Assault. I don't know if it's just in there or if it's overall.
Oh, okay.
But so that'll be really helpful. But yeah, I got that done.
Yeah, I need to crank some of these out.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not bad until you start doing it. That's what I found.
See, the thing is, I thought it would be fun to do. It looked kind of like a little checklist. Oh, I'll go, do a bunch of these little tasks. But, when I started doing... It's probably the Varrock one, because that was the one I actually really wanted. I want to get the battle staffs. And something else, I can't remember. But Yeah, it's kind of tedious. It kind of took a while too. It's kind of annoying. It wasn't really that much fun.
No, it's not really fun at all. I just well, it's not bad once you actually start getting into the groove of it. I like open up the wiki, see all the requirements, make sure I have them all met. And then I just kind of check them off one at a time, start from the top, work my way down. Like I did that same thing like while I was going for the quest gate. I just started from the top and just did them in alphabetical order, unless I needed like requirements for, you know, one of them, that I'd go and do all the requirements, and then I'd continued working on it. And I saved like Monkey Madness 2 for last, just cause like, you know, it definitely like, it was worth it for me, cause it's definitely like a really nice last quest to push through before you get your cape.
What'd you think of it? I haven't done it yet, but
Monkey Madness 2 is actually such a good quest. Like I
remember it had pretty positive feedback when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's probably the favorite, or like tied with my favorite quest. Like, it's really good, and like the like big boss fight at the end is like really hard. Like I did the two, like there's 2 save spot methods I did for the first 2 phases, and then the third phase, like I did it like another way, and it was still like really, really hard.
Oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
Like I don't know how like these void pures and stuff are doing it, because it's actually like it's a challenging boss. It's definitely really hard.
Yeah, it's good to hear though.
Yeah, no, it's a really fun quest, and yeah, it's good fun. I don't know, getting the questcape it felt like pretty nice, at least, because
was it satisfying? Was it worth the giant fucking journey?
Oh yeah,
the giant trek.
I would say it's definitely worth, because like one, like the cape gives me the best teleport to a fairy ring in the game.
Oh, that's right. It's right outside of
Legends Guild.
Legends Guild. I keep forgetting the capes have benefits now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I kind of just did it so I never have to worry about quests, because like before that, I had like a good amount of quest points, but I have like a lot of friends that are pretty much NMZ prods and stuff. Like they hit 110 and then they go get their fire cape and barrel gloves. So they pretty much camp NMZ until they're a high level, and they have like nothing really to their account, and they're pretty newbie, and I was kind of like that. And there's just so many things. Like, man, I didn't even do like Edgar's Ruse for the Trollheim teleport, and I was like doing Bandos and crap. Like I was just like,
oh, I need to do that quest.
Yeah, like if you're ever gonna do God Wars, you need it. Like it's literally cuts your travel time by like 80%. But yeah, like, I don't know, I found, I've done all quests and stuff, so I don't have to worry about it until, they release another quest in a year or two.
That's true. I prefer my method of just waiting till you have to do it for a clue scroll or some shit.
Yes.
And then putting that off for a week, and then finally probably dropping the clue, to be honest, and then the second time you get it and the clue, you usually go complete it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the opposite. I just want to get it out of the way, never have to worry about any of that crap again. And I mean, like, I really enjoyed, like, the big quest grind. Like, if I hated it, I wouldn't have been done by now. Like, you just get in the groove and you do all the quests. The one thing I gotta say, though, is fuck rat catchers.
Yeah.
Worst quest in the game, 100% stupid. I hate it.
I don't think I've ever done that quest.
Don't do it unless you have to. It is shitty. It's like, it's 10 times worse than an RFD when you have to get the spices.
Oh,
it's
really?
So bad, because I pretty much, like, throughout RS, I did Gertrude's cat, like, a long time ago. And I
first question.
Yeah, and I have the kitten until I have to do the spices, right? Like, I'm never gonna get an actual cat, so I keep it as a kitten, suffer for, like, an hour and a half getting all the spices, because kittens can't kill anything, and then it becomes a hell kitten, and I'm too lazy to make it become a cat. And then I have to do rat catchers.
It's not hard to make it become a cat, though.
It just takes time, and I just couldn't be bothered.
You don't do anything. It just follows you. Just keep some fish on you.
Yeah, it's annoying. I don't know. I've never really cared for the cats in the game. And, yeah, I had to do rat catchers, and you catch 14 rats in that game. And I counted for, like, one of my catches. It was, like, or 2 of them. The one, one of my first rats, it took me 22 attempts, and then, like, the other one I tried to track was like 53 attempts or something. And so like literally you just for like 2 hours straight till you catch like all 8 rats in this one area. And then you have to go to a friggin' like garden. You have to like go to this castle, and the guards are super buggy, and if you mess up, I had like 2 or 3 guards teleport to the entrance and constantly keep jailing me and teleporting me back to the entrance. So I literally just had to like leave the area and come back, and they see you through walls and shit. It's so buggy and annoying. Sometimes the guards just stand still for like 10 minutes and they teleport. Like, it was so frustrating. And then I finally went and caught all the other cats I needed, and I like had to go and fight this big rat or something. It was like you use your cat pretty much in this like hole in the wall, and then it like fights a rat, and then you have to like feed it with fish. Like through this tiny hole.
Right, okay, okay.
Yeah,
what you're talking
but
about.
the click box was so small. Like, what I would do is I'd put my cat in, like, click my food, try and find the hole, and then, like, right-click it and get ready to feed it. And, it got to a point where my cat got hit, like, 3 or 4, or my kitten got hit 3 or 4 times in a row, and I couldn't find the hole in time, and it died. So I had to go back and get another cat and redo the whole fight.
Okay, well, that just sounds like you suck.
It was awful. But, like, up until that point, though, it was, like, I think I spent 3 hours on that quest. Like, more time than I did on Monkey Madness 2.
Well, you had a kitten. You just...
It's awful.
If you had that kitten out the whole time you did the quest, it would have turned into a cat.
I did. I had my hell kitten out the second I started the quest. And, like, up until it died, it was still a kitten. And, like, because it takes over 3 hours. If it takes 3 hours if you're feeding it at the right times and stroking it at the right times. If you don't do that properly, it can take like up to 6 hours.
Yeah, you just do it when you're like fishing or some shit.
It's awful though. I don't care enough about kittens. But like even then, man,
you should
like
what's that?
Even then, like traveling through the garden into the castle and traveling around the castle, like that took me so long because the pathing of the guards are like really slow and really, really glitchy. True. Where like you're hiding behind like a bush, you're fully circled by a bush, and the guy just like, hey, you stop, and like teleports you right through a bush, and you're like, well, I can't fucking do anything about that. But that's like,
okay, well, the important question, does it give you anything good? Are the rewards worth it?
You unlock a wily and lazy cat. So I think you can turn your overgrown cat into one of these 2 cats, which is good because overgrown cats can't hunt mice. And
oh really? Oh yeah, true. Okay, that makes sense.
And the wily cats are the best for killing rats. They have like a 70% chance to catch the rat, so it's really good if you're like an Iron Man and you need to get a lot of stews and whatnot. But other than that, like, nah.
Yeah, I just looked it up. So you get 2 quest points, 4.5k thieving experience, a rat pull. What's a rat pull? Just a little.
Just like a weapon you hold that you can add rats to it or something when your cat catches them.
Yeah, it's for the rat pits minigame.
Yeah.
So that looks alright if you're into the fashionscape. Yeah, and then you get the wily cats and the lazy cat.
Yeah.
And you can sorry, let me say that again. And then you can train wily cats and lazy cats, and you can name your cat up to 6 letters long.
Yeah, so I can call my cat Killer or something super edgy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then you can do rat pits and the ability to use the minigame teleport to the rat pits in Port Sarim.
Yeah.
Arndone, Varrock, and Keldegrim.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever done rat pits?
No, I definitely don't want to after that experience. I don't like anything with kittens.
Yeah, just checking it out now, and the only reward is cash, and there's really no popularity towards the game.
Yeah, it seems...
In fact, it's rare to see anyone there.
Did it?
Straight from the wiki itself.
Yeah. It's, because, like, no one likes doing that shit with their cats. Even if it's, like, a wily cat, who enjoys right-click, interact, like, chase vermin, and, like, no one enjoys that type of content.
Not necessarily, but, like, if they released more... I think they should release kind of more pets on that. Okay, maybe not. I think I want to take that back. I was going to say, they should release dogs and shit, too.
They do have dogs.
There should be a quest that comes out where you can get dogs. What?
Can't you get... I remember when I was a kid, when I first became a member and did Gertrude's Cat, I've got a pug somehow. You can also...
No, there's no way.
Dude, I swear I was able to get a dog somehow. You can get a pet rock, too?
You can get a pet rock, yeah. Could it be the dog from the fucking stray dog from Varrock?
No, there was Oh Oh my god, I swear I had like a pet, like
Penguin?
you can get like a
Clockwork pug?
maybe it was that. I don't know, man. I remember like having like an actual dog. Well, like I was like, oh cool, and I like put it in my bank and it sat there forever. But yeah, maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe it's just like a false memory.
I think you're a filthy liar.
Yeah,
Let me check
maybe.
the RuneScape dog 2007.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm definitely wrong on that. I don't know why I remember that though. I remember having like a pug, and I thought that was so cool. Maybe I was just a kid and couldn't read, and I was like, oh, it's obviously a pug.
Yeah, it was probably the Rock or some shit. I don't
know. I remember having a rock pet, but yeah, they have a shit ton of pets.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I was like thinking when I was like, I don't know why they don't just have more cat pets and like more pets like that. Then then I remember like, oh yeah, they have. Looking them up now.
42 pets.
Okay, yeah, sure, a lot.
That's including like cat,
bit.
Hellcat, Wily Cat. You know what I mean? Like all the variations of the cats. But
it would be kind of cool to see different variants of cats, though, because I remember when I would see a lazy cat or a wily cat.
Yeah,
I'd be like, shit, like I want a fucking wily cat or a lazy cat, and you can name them. Like you can name them. Dude,
I think that's only for you though. Like I don't think anyone will right click.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I don't think anyone right clicks your cat and it says like. Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, still, yeah, add more different cats. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Add, like, pregnant cats and, like, maybe a 3-legged cat and, blind cat and a cat with fleas, maybe? What do you think? Any of these sticking?
Well, I mean, I hate the cats in this game, so I'm going to say no.
Dead cat. How about that?
Yeah, okay. You just drag it behind you on a leash?
Yeah, it drags behind you. Flies and shit buzzing around it. All right, cool. That's a pretty good suggestion. We'll set it into the Jagex.
Mm-hmm. But,
so is that, what else you do?
I think just that. It's really weird. Last episode I was bitching about this, saying how much I hate agility, and, like, now I'm starting to warm up to runecrafting.
Yeah.
Now, like, I did my grind to agility. I mean, I actually liked getting, like, it was only, like, 67 or something to 70. But, like, I don't know, like, those last couple levels, I actually really enjoyed it, but...
You really enjoyed it? You went from hating it, like...
To, like...
So you did it for 10 minutes and quit?
Well, like, to, like, now I find a way, like, I found a way to, like, actually like it. So, pretty much, I was kind of forced to watch a movie with someone, like, over Skype or whatever. So, we watch a movie, and I'm like... I didn't really want to watch a movie. The movie was called, like, Moana or something. I don't know if you guys... it's like a Pixar or something... It's spelled like
Mulan?
No, Moana. It's like Hawaiian people.
I might have
it's a lot about gods and stuff like that. It's an okay movie, but I really wasn't down to watch it. And so I just did agility the whole time and had up my second monitor and kind of watched it. And then we watched like a second movie and I just kept on doing agility and thieving and stuff.
I think that's a pretty special case though. I don't think you could like give that advice to other people. This is how you should do agility.
Man,
be forced to watch a movie you don't want to watch.
Well, like,
and have nothing else
just in general, like
agility.
watching movie. Like, man, I watched I was watching like a bunch of movies and stuff, and like just doing rune crafting and finding other things to do. Like, I used to just like listen to music and then do agility. That's what I did for my 1 to 65 grind.
Okay, that sounds horrible.
That was awful. Yeah, but like now, like. If I'm like on Discord with my buddies and we're all just like talking or something, I'll just log on and do some rune crafting for like an hour or two, or I'll do agility or something. Like I really, like that's the only way I can find to enjoy it is if I'm like interacting with people, I guess. But like it's
all right. So now we'll ask the question: for 2 days straight, if you had to do one of the skills, which one would it be, agility or rune crafting?
I'd probably say rune crafting for the money.
Okay, rune crafting for 2 days versus agility for a week straight. No, wait, sorry, opposite way around. Agility for 2 days, rune crafting for a week straight.
See, that's why I would say RuneScape. I mean, not RuneScape. Rune crafting, sorry. I would say rune crafting because it's a shit ton of money. Like, I'd make like... Well, I have made like over 1.5 mil just doing it during a section of the day, doing rune crafting. Like, it's actually like, the nature runes are really good money.
So what are you getting it to right now, and why?
Well, I was just rune crafting just for the sake of rune crafting. Like I also do need a lot of money. I'm kind of, my magic has always been really low, ever since they took out 6-hour splashing, I just never trained Magic. Like, I did 1 to 65.
Boycotting Magic.
Yeah, I did 1 to 65 Magic, only splashing, and then they came out with that update where they fixed, like, the 6-hour splashing, and then to, like, 75, I pretty much elked. Like, I would just elk random shit in my bank. And then I would also, like, bloodburst Dust Devils on Slayer tasks. But, like, now I need, like... I'm debating about going for 85 or 94 Magic. And I need a crap ton of money to burst those monkeys. So, like, I pretty much sunk all my bank into burst casts and stuff.
You're doing the exact same thing I did.
Yeah, like, I need it, though. Like, if I get it to 85, I'm just thinking, like, if I spend, say, 15 mil getting it to 85, I'll just do Zalra for, like, 2 days or something and make all that money back. And, like, I'm gonna bounce, like, I gotta get it to 85 ASAP, and then...
I definitely recommend getting it to 94, though, because Ice Barrage and Vengeance are fucking amazing.
And now they came out with, like, a little update a bit ago that we didn't mention, but they changed Bandos' magic level to 80. So, apparently, people are Ice Barraging it now. They sit in a corner and they Ice Barrage Bandos, and they can get, like, a lot of kills per hour solo. And they can sit there for, like, over 3 or 4 trips, apparently.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, so that's, like, ridiculous. You, like, I don't know if they fixed it by then, but someone was telling me that that's what they've been doing for the past, like, couple days, and they've made so much money. And, so I kind of want to do that for that as well, but also, like, because my Magic right now is only 78, and if I do Zalra, I have to just only range it. Which is fine. I don't mind doing that, but the kills are like 3 minutes plus. Like, it's really slow.
True.
And even if I bring Magic with, like, I've tried bringing it with, like, full Magic bonus, like the Mage's Book, the Swamp, Trident of the Swamp, like a Cult Neck, like everything I could bring for maximum Magic. And, yeah, like, I still splash on it all the time. And I don't like having to, like, you know, focus on the range aspect. It makes it really slow. So I just want to be able to crank out a bunch of money.
See, I'm the opposite. My range is a lot lower than my mage. I don't know. The only times I train range now, for the most part, is if I'm using a cannon. Or if I'm killing something that there's no other way but to range them. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, do you know what's your range level right now?
I think it's 83.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Something like that. No, it's not bad, but the only times I would level it is when I wanted to power. Okay, I power leveled it a bit with chins just because I wanted to kill Zalra, and, like, it was way too low. And then the rest are coming all from cannons and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, like, recently I've been just killing Brutal Black Dragons, which it's a shitty way to train it, and it's, like, really slow. Like, I did it for, like, a few days, not straight. I only played a couple of hours each day.
Yeah,
but I would check the experience gained, and it was like 40.
Oh, dude, it's such bad experience, but good money though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's really good money, and I mean, yeah, I see, like, a lot of pures and stuff doing that. Like, a lot of pures that have, like, 43 magic or 43 prayer. I mean, they'll just do that for, I don't know, fun or to make money on their pure or something. It's pretty good.
Yeah, all you need is basically range and prayer.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a prayer altar really nearby, so if you don't want to waste prayer potions, you don't have to bring them. You can kill one, go up and pray, and then come back down and kill another one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I was doing all week, just killing Brutal Black Dragons. And,
how much have you made from it? Have you calculated it yet?
Quite a bit. Like, quite a bit for how long I've been there. I know I'm saying I've been there for a couple days, but, you know, I don't always have that much time to play RuneScape, so a couple days could be like 4 or 5 hours, right? But anyways, so the real reason I'm actually killing Brutal Black Dragons is to get an elite clue scroll, because I'm still trying to get master clue scrolls, completing those to get my construction to 90. And I'm just been trying to experiment with different ways to get the elite clue scroll, because it's kind of a pain, and I guess I get kind of bored sort of easily. Like, grinding out Zalra, I can only do it for so long. I think because you need to kind of concentrate a bit. At least I do. My account's I'm not good enough to be able to pay attention to Netflix while I do Zulrah. So yeah, I've been doing Brutal Black Dragons, and the money's been pretty good, but I don't know exactly how much I've made because I've sold some of it before because I was bouncing between Brutal Black Dragons, Lava Dragons, Barrows, and Zulrah, and then I was kind of selling things in the mix, and then I realized I'm just gonna stick to Brutal Black Dragons for a bit because you can make some bank there. So I got one tab right now, like 1.5 mil, I think.
Yeah, Brutal Black Dragons are like the most AFK-able out of like all of those.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I'm always seeing people bitching about being crashed and shit, even in, like, the worlds I'm in.
Yeah.
But, like, I have no problems finding a room. Literally, someone will crash me, and then I'll hop, and then it'll just be, like, a room with, like, one other person in it. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, people are, like, so lazy. It's like, let me sit here. And it's the worst when you get that lazy person and then a really stubborn person. And you end up with, like, 6 people in that one room, and they're all fighting over dragons, and you're like, well... I mean, I'm just gonna go to, like, world, like, 362, and, oh, look, there's no one here. Okay. That was a quick solution, and you just continue.
Yeah, basically. I basically just told you what my week on RuneScape was. Those 4 things, I think.
I want to say, like, I think Barrows might be the fastest way to get the clue scroll.
No, it's not. It's Lava Dragons with the Ring of Wealth imbued. Barrows, I believe it's something like 1 in 125 or maybe 1 in 200.
Oh.
I could be, or maybe it's like 1 in 50 or something. I don't know, but when I was like comparing them all, Barrows does like take the longest.
Yeah.
I think because you're doing like the chest itself takes like 10 minutes or so to get to.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. So yeah, then Brutal Black Dragons and then Zulrah and Lava Dragons were my other 3 that I kind of were gonna settle with.
Mm-hmm.
Zulrah, I gotta pay too much attention, and I get really tilted when I die. So like when I say tilted, I mean like I don't die too often, but I'll get the one death where maybe I got cocky and wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And then I die, and then I'll go back again, and I'll pay 100% attention, and then I'll just die because I just get fucking just frustrated.
Yeah, I feel you. So, doing Zulrah, it is annoying. So just run back, get your gear, go back, get your food, come back, finally fight him again.
Yeah, you're doing things on repeat, and then after like just doing that on hours on end, you just like, alrighty.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, I guess. So, yeah, then lastly, so I've been, Lava Dragons I found were the best to get them.
Yep.
And the Ring of Wealth, when you have it imbued, it cuts clue scroll drops in half when killing things in the wilderness.
Okay.
So
yeah, it makes it really quickly, I guess. It makes it happen really quick.
Yeah, and like I can kill Lava Dragons pretty fast. So basically all I do when I go in there is bring Ring of Wealth, Anti-Fire Shield, and Toxic Staff of the Trident of the Swamps, I think. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Trident of the Swamps. And then just kind of kill that and kind of pay attention. But the problem with that is it's so easy to die. Like, you have to watch the mini-map like mad.
Yeah, wait for those PKers to log in under you or something.
Yeah, sort of. Now, here's my problem, is I've been doing it in a PvP world because so far I've had a lot of good, like, luck in the PvP worlds within the wilderness when killing, like, bosses and other shit like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I were to get someone to kind of like attack me, I'm kind of fucked. Because even if I were to be able to get out of somewhere to teleport, like I'm just going to teleport back into the world, like somewhere where someone's going to be able to PK me.
Well, that's why you would teleport to like Camelot, because the teleport in Camelot's safe.
No. That's not how I roll. I bring the glory because the glory doesn't take up a space for an inventory.
Yeah.
And you can teleport at level 30. So bam.
Yeah, that's true. Couldn't you do Ring of Dueling to Castle Wars? Or is that not safe?
I don't know, but I got the Ring of Wealth in the ring slot.
Oh, truth.
So yeah, even though I never fucking filled my inventory because I always puss out as soon as I get a big drop. Not a big drop, but anything worth 100k.
Yeah.
I have it so the purple pops up. So I get excited and I get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I mean, at this rate, how long do you think it'll take for you to get like your master clue and then to get your 90 construction.
Well, see, that's the problem. Like, there's a lot of variables, right? Like, I have no idea because this fucking clue is like the elite can take forever to get.
Yeah.
The rest of the clues are really easy. Like, I just go to Hellhounds in the Wilderness for hard, or I just do my Slayer task, get my hard clue that way, and it's usually fairly fast. Medium, I do guards with a cannon, and then easy, I do thugs in the Wilderness too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have no problem with those, but it's the elite that I have like been kind of having issues with. Just because it's just gonna get impatient. That's all it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would probably argue that it would be faster if you just did medium clues. Because it's like one out of like 128 or something, or 256 or something to get ranger boots, and you could get like 3 or 4 of them done in an hour, easy.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to just grind out clues. I'm trying to do it so I don't burn myself out of construction, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I'll try to bring you into my mindset that I'm going here. So if I do master clues to get money to do construction, every time the master clue be kind of different, the potential to score big and make a lot of money. I'll have to raise my stats sometimes. So like my first example is I had to get 70 agility. I probably never would have done that. It would have stayed 60 for the rest of my life. I think that's it. But it kind of I don't know. It was kind of a goal within another goal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess if you get that third H piece, and you're like, well, I'm done. I get 99 construction easy, 99 prayer
and then I
as
just
well.
spend it all on mahogany planks.
Yeah,
and then just like blow 40 mil to get to level 90.
I mean, I think regardless, depending on how it works out, like if you're gonna get burnt out, you're gonna get burnt out. It's kind of hard to avoid it. You have to like find a way to make it manageable.
And this is why I think the master clue is a good one, because like I said, during the weekday especially, I don't always have the most time. I'll have like 2, maybe 3 hours to like game. And yeah, so when I wanted to get like 90 hunter or something like that to catch dragon imps with my like bare hands, and I was level 1, so this was like a really unrealistic goal, but anyways, I placed it, and within like 1 week I got to like level 65 or something like that, and that wasn't too bad. And then the next week I was doing like chins or something, so I was making some money too, and that was kind of like I enjoyed that. That was kind of satisfying, but I was playing like 10 minutes, and then I was just like, okay, I can't fucking take this. I'm getting off for the day, and I'll come back tomorrow. And I ended up quitting for a few months after that. That's when I started like playing this time around. I was like, okay, no more setting these like stupid, unrealistic goals where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do hunter for the next 300 hours straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not straight, but 300 hours. That's what I'm gonna be doing on RuneScape.
Yeah, I mean, it's like usually, like I have different types of goals set. Like I'll have more than just one goal set. One will be like the super grindy, like, all right, I'm going to burst to, you know, I think I have like 5 or 6K ice bursts like in my inventory right now. And so it's like, all right, I'll do that. I'll use them all. I don't know what level I'll get to, but then like I'll also set like AFK goals. Like, you know, if I don't feel like doing that type of stuff, I'll just do monkfish or something. And I'll just fish, like, you know what I mean? Like my goals are,
yeah, okay.
A lot of them are pretty loosely based with like a general idea of how I want it. 'Cause yeah, I've had that like that exact same issue where it's like, all right, I'm gonna get like, you know, I'm gonna spend a month doing this straight, and then like halfway through you're like, this is not worth it. I'd rather not play this game, and then you quit for like a month or 2.
Yeah. So the reason at least so far, this master clue thing has been kind of good because, like I know I'm bitching about me not being able to get the elite clue, but it's because I'm just getting a little antsy now.
Yeah.
At this point, but whatever. After doing my first clue, I had about 10 mil, and I blew it all on oak planks from level 50, and I got about 25,000 oak planks.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how long it took me, but it took me quite a bit. But I guess I was getting close to the burnout point, but once I finished.
Yeah.
And then I had to do and so anyways, I do another clue, and then I get like nothing. I get like 200k from it, and I end up buying like 1,000 planks. Or like a couple thousand or something like that. And like it took me like an hour to finish them, and I was like, all right, that was like, I barely even noticed it. You know what I mean? I started, next thing you know, I'm finishing.
Yeah.
I grew like maybe one level, but still, this way the grind is changing every time, and it's not always like, all right, let's sit down for 8 hours and make fucking oak larders.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're pretty different, because, like, I could not stand doing master clues. Like, that's something I don't find appealing. I'd rather runecraft. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like, I've only done a couple right now, but, like, I'm sure if I did, like 50 and I got nothing from any of them and it was just, like, not good money at all, then maybe I'm not gonna, my opinion on them is gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, you could fish. You could fish or like woodcut for all your clues. Because I think you can I'm pretty sure you can get elites from fishing and stuff, from skilling and whatnot.
Yeah, so that is the plan, but only when I'm doing something else. Like, let's say I'm playing, another game. Because I just bought Vermintide on the Ps4. I don't know why I bought that game. I had no idea what it was. I just saw it and it looked cool.
Yeah.
So might play that tonight. But anyways, yeah, that's how I'm going to get the clues, is through woodcutting if I'm doing something AFK. But besides that, I'm going to do something, I don't know, make more money from, I suppose. Because this way, like, by the time I finish my master clue, I'll have like another 3 mil on top of it just from all the loot drops.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. But, yeah, no, let's stop with this ramble. Let's move on to the news, shall we?
Yep.
Alrighty, where should we start? Where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about the little controversy? That's where we're going to start, I think.
Yeah, we could just start alphabetically and talk about the AHK ban.
Bam. There it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Auto Hotkeys, a program, got banned. It's a program?
Yep.
Right? Yeah, okay. Because I know you could write scripts for it and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And that's where the gray area and controversy came.
Yeah, so pretty much what AHK was, it's like you can reprogram your keyboard, certain buttons, to do mouse movements and mouse clicks for you. So people would use it to, pretty much do things way more efficiently than you could ever do with just your mouse. And they had a rule, like, in the beginning where you can use it as long as it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. So, like, I would hit 7 and it would do 1 movement.
Yeah.
And, kind of keep it fair, because everyone's excuse was, well, what if I have a disability?
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, well, all right, fine. And so, but what they found was a lot of people were really, really abusing it. And, like, a lot of people in, like, a lot of the top skillers and efficient experience or whatever, efficient hours play, like those guys that are really, really obsessed with efficiency, like automelogy and whatnot.
Sure.
I don't know exactly with him. I think he was using it legitimately, but there's a lot of people that would have like coordinates set up so you could kind of do your thing and then you'd hit like, let's say 7 and it would teleport the mouse to where your deposit all button was. And so you were able to just rip through your bank in like within half a second. People like abuse the crap out of it for rune crafting, where they'd hit 5 buttons and they'd have full rune essence and they'd have like all their pouches filled and like they're already running to the bank within like, within a second, where for me, it takes me, doing it as efficiently as possible. It takes me like twice the amount of time. And, yeah, like a lot of people were just abusing it and finding like little loopholes or straight up just ignoring their rule of a 1-to-1 ratio. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of just said, all right, like, no, that's it. No more auto hotkeys. And then shortly after, they also banned OS Buddy mouse keys, which is like, mouse keys is like the default program that comes with your Windows computer. And the RuneScape client, Oldschool Buddy, it has a modified version of it, I guess, built within. So you'd use your D-pad or your keypad or whatever, and you'd be able to like set like an option to hit pretty much 2 or 3 buttons, and you're able to drop like a bunch of your inventory. They have like a lot of different options that would pretty much teleport your mouse around, and that it's not good. Like it's really not good. It's really like it just kind of like abuses the whole argument of what if I'm handicapped, and then I also think it makes it harder for them to track people who are botting and auto clicking.
Yeah, and I think like that's a big problem, is like allowing the OS Buddies mouse keys. You're gonna have people being like, well, why is that allowed in AHK like auto hotkeys is not. You know what I mean? So like, sadly, like I did use the mouse keys for OS Buddy, and it's kind of sucks. It's gone, I guess, but whatever. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can use your mouse keys on your Windows operating system or whatever operating system that it comes with that you have.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were saying like, well, why the hell is this a thing? And I think a big thing is with the mouse keys on Windows, your mouse doesn't actually teleport. It's slowly, or, you can actually like increase the speed, but it moves the mouse in like a 4-dimension way, right? Like up, down, left, or right. It doesn't just teleport the mouse. So, the inputs that, Jagex would be seeing is like a mouse going straight up, straight to the left, and whatever. And like that, like they obviously should have that. Like that's fine. I think the fact that the mouse is teleporting around, like, I mean, I used it too, right? And I use the mouse keys on Windows when I'm doing things like thieving, so I can just click the plus button and I'm just, and I'm thieving off of whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like that's fine. Like they have no issues with that because crap, man, the amount of obvious people that are botting when I was like picking the Knights of Arty, yeah, it's definitely a lot more honest than that. It just kind of saves my wrist a little bit. And yeah, I think a lot of people are really upset. And I don't know, like, what's your opinion on this whole thing?
Well, I have a question first. So you're saying they banned it because it teleported your cursor?
Well, that's not the reason why, but I think that's one of the big reasons why. They never specified that. Okay,
they never specified, so... Well, I was going to ask then, how is, like, tablets or laptops with a touch screen interface? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, like, exactly, right? That's one thing, but I think, like, yeah, I mean, computers, like, come with that, right? Like, I think a friend has a video of him doing that, and people get mad at him just saying, man, why do you have a friggin' iPad or whatever, or a tablet to do that? You can just use auto hotkeys, which is, like everyone, they kind of want everything for, they like, give me this, give me that. Oh, like I want to have all the benefits of everything. Like, and like, I don't think the teleporting mouse is like, I don't think that's their final reason, but I would assume that like, limiting the amount of people that are doing that does help them with catching people who are actually botting and using auto clickers and whatnot, because it is pretty well known that they do have an issue with that. I mean, everyone knows how hard it is for them to catch people, but this is kind of one of the steps they're making, I think, to make it easier. And yeah. Like, so, like, what are your opinions on this whole ban? Do you think it's like justified?
See, auto hotkeys always like kind of tiptoe a fine line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
See, the thing is, I'm split because I did use mouse keys, and it kind of like it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. There's like not that many things that I'm trying to think of that's like, well, fuck, I'm never doing that again. Like, I'm never really trying to speed drop iron ore or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you wanted to, you could do it with ease. Hit 5 and 2 over and over again, and like, boom, there's a whole line. There's 7 inventories or whatever, or 8, I guess, dropped.
I'm so confused. What?
Like, for dropping, right? You have like mouse keys. You could just hit 2 buttons over and over again, and your mouse would go straight down the line and drop everything.
Yeah, you couldn't do that now, though.
No, I mean, you have to do it by hand, which is...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, I'm not going to be doing that, so I'm not that, I don't really care.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect you from your day to day.
So, yeah, so, like, anyways, my opinion on the auto hotkeys ban, like, I know they had to do it. I'm like, it makes sense. I'm glad they did, because before they left it vague, just so that they can kind of... Here's the line we put, like, we didn't really tell you where it is, you can kind of guess, and, like, you're banned just because, like, not one-to-one.
Yeah.
But, and it was basically what I'm trying to say is, like, they eliminated that gray area of what's legitimate and what's, like, illegitimate or, like, illegal in the game.
Yeah, like, abusing a macro or something.
Yeah, because now we just know, plain and simple, it's, all of it's not, is not allowed in the game.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, it makes sense. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Because, like...
I mean, you never really used it, so it doesn't really affect you.
I'm gonna look, can I say that whole part again?
Yeah, we'll start again, yep.
Okay, so, like... my opinion on, like, the mouse keys, Yeah, I didn't use it too much. I mean, I did use it, but there's nothing too much that I'm not going to be able to not do anymore because mouse keys doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, you weren't reliant on it.
Yeah, but I know why they had to do it, because now, like, there wasn't really a line before. It was basically like, 1-to-1 ratio. Just keep it at that and we're cool.
Yep.
So people are kind of like tiptoeing around that line, but now there's like, now we know where it is. It's like, no, you're not allowed to use AHK at all or anything, right? Mm-hmm. Now this is why I'm split too, because there's a lot of things and a lot of people will argue in RuneScape when it comes down to skill or like putting in the hard work, and a lot of things in RuneScape are just comes down to it being tedious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're always looking for people who are trying to get around something that's just annoying and a pain in the ass to do, right?
Yep.
So hopefully, I don't know. I'm kind of running around in circles, I feel like, but hopefully, as if they're gonna take these out of the game, hopefully we get a lot of quality of life.
Yeah,
updates.
See, that's a pretty good segue to what I was gonna say, because like very very shortly after this ban, Mod Kyrene, he was actually talking about, and he showed images of an ability to possibly like right click your logs and drop all or something, right? Like,
yeah. Okay. Exactly. I do remember seeing that.
Yeah. So they've been talking about just improving the interface and the convenience of the game as a whole, because like the average person, like if someone's listening right now and they're like, man, I could have, like, what? I could press a button and teleport my mouse to a certain location. How come I'm upset I never got to use that. It's like, well, I mean, they're not going to give you the ability to do that, but they have already pushed out a bunch of quality of life things that like I haven't really used until recently, like the ability to add like a fill all and you have bank holders. You'll have like like the no smoking sign, the red circle, the line, and you can fill up your bank with these like nulls pretty much, and that allows you to like
okay, I know what you're talking
like
about.
dump your inventory, but hey, because there's no space, quote unquote, in your bank, you can't deposit your rune pouches or your glory or something. So things like that make it like they've already added, make like quality, like makes it way easier and gives like less of a use for auto hotkeys and mouse keys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, as long as they recognize why auto hotkeys is a problem in the first place, is because people want to avoid a lot of these like annoyances, because like a lot of parts of this game are a little outdated because the game is pretty old, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of things we're looking back like 15 years ago. Yeah,
exactly. Like a lot of things definitely were overlooked, and our age group at the time, we were all young enough to not care, right? We didn't really care that you had to right click your iron ore one at a time. Like, man, I have a memory of my buddy paying me money to meet him at Al-Kharad, and he'd trade me the iron ore as he was power mining, and I would drop it for him.
Oh, dude, there on the forums there are a ton of like little mini companies that had that.
Exactly, right?
And like miners and little workers and like
and like I thought that was fun, right? But I could not be bothered to be paid like even like 20K in inventory or X amount of money per hour. Like I couldn't do that. Like that's boring as hell and a waste of time for me. So like I think they did that ban. They've done this ban to like now they're kind of like, well, we don't want people to have to rely on like I guess add-ons at this point. Like, oh, you want to play RS? Why don't you just download Conduit and OS Buddy, play off or Rune Loader, like one of the unofficial clients, and then download auto hotkeys as well. Like they don't want it. They don't want this big list of things to be piled up of like programs you need to like play the game in like a more fun way, I guess.
Yeah, and they are actually doing a lot of improvements. Like we even have an auto chat feature.
Yeah,
right?
like I remember discovering short keys when I was like
exactly. Dude, I have short keys on here because I didn't know that existed. Yeah. I downloaded it.
Like I was like 10 or something when I discovered short keys, and that made like buying items and like easy. I didn't
game changer.
Yeah, I would just hit my tilde over and over again, and it would just spam the chat and like. Yeah, they don't want people to have to do that, so they're just going to improve how the game works and the interfaces. And I'm definitely, I would rather have that than needing, mouse keys or something to play the game.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I used mouse keys quite a bit before the ban. Like, I always used it to like deposit inventory and dropping items and like a lot of little things. I would like, customize the distances so I could do things way more easily, but like. I'm not too upset with the ban. I'm pretty fine with it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I just want to like finish off by saying I think all the people that are really upset with this ban are people that they abused it, right?
Oh, true, probably.
Like even if it's like a coordinate, which that had like a lot of controversy around. Like the people that are really upset just were probably abusing it. We should probably move on though.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, and continuing on, and I guess furthering the quality of life topic, but we're going to include prayer scrolls in a quest. All right, so Misthalin Mystery. Jesus Christ, I sound like I have a list. Misthalin. Say that.
Misthalin?
Misthalin.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird word.
Anyways, new quest, Misthalin Mysteries. It's both free to play and pay to play. So basically, and you must have just done it, right?
Yep, I did it.
It's the Halloween event, so yeah,
pretty fun quest. I mean,
yeah, it is a pretty cool quest. Pretty unique.
Yeah, pretty unique. It's pretty quick. Not even it took me like not even 10 minutes. I think I just ran right through it. It's pretty easy.
Grim Reaper still?
I think it's like a Scream knockoff.
Yeah, okay. I just wondering if they changed it since that's what they use in Halloween. But yeah, and what were the rewards? Do you remember?
You got some gems, I think.
Yeah, it's nothing worthwhile.
I mean, like the last little boss fight of it's pretty fun. Now you have to like rotate and move the mirrors to the I guess sarcophaguses or like those little coffin things.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about that last week with the puzzle and the raids with the crabs.
Yeah.
Where you have to fucking bounce the orb off them.
Yep.
It's kind of similar. But anyways, we get that. Now there's a new graceful color, a new graceful recoloring.
Oh, really?
Dark blue. It looks pretty badass.
How do you get this?
It matches the agility cape. You get it from Pirate Jackie the Fruit, found at Brimhaven Agility Course, and it costs 250
of those tickets. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. That was the first thing I ever did in members, and I remember I did that for like a month straight. I think that's all I did.
Yeah. And
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I haven't done that since like 2004, 2005.
Dude, fucking I remember getting that up to like level 47 or something. It was like my highest skill. Like I got my agility at 47.
Yep.
And my membership ended, and that's all I did. And like I had my little group of non-members friends and like people I knew in real life and shit. And they were like, I'd always brag about how I had a member skill at level 47. It was my only member skill at 47. They're like, whoa, dude, you're a member and shit. And I was like, yeah, one time, boys. One time I was.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cause yeah, I've
Yep.
Yeah, I my next little goal I think is to get like all the Zia houses max favor so I can get the recolor of Graceful.
Yeah, they look pretty badass.
Yeah, for Fashionscape and whatnot, and yeah, it's good to see like another recolor come out.
Yep, cool, and it looks really good too.
Yeah.
So moving on the trend of cosmetics, now male Armadillo armor will show less skin. Okay.
All right.
It just looks less feminine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because before we fucking had like your belly, your midriff exposed.
Yeah, like see your little treasure trail.
The Max Fire Cape now features an unmoving version of the texture found on the Fire Cape.
Yeah,
I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. When they first released I first saw pictures of it in game of like the Max Fire Cape or whatever. It looked really dark and not that nice looking.
True.
Yeah, so hopefully they fix that.
Update. They smoothed out some sand at this Piscarius. Okay. They smoothed out some sand at the Piscarius area in Great Corrend.
Is that sand crab area?
Yeah, I think so. They smoothed it out though, so now it's not going to look unsmooth.
Not bad.
The battle staffs, Steam, Mist, and Dust, the ones that got released with the Slayer monsters. What is it? The Rare Encounters update?
Yeah.
So now, I guess they were too short before, but they got extended a bit. So
Yeah, I always found that odd.
I don't know. I never really noticed it. I don't see too many people with them, I guess.
Oh, truth.
Yeah, okay, so now they look longer. So now the prayer spells, Rigor and Augury, got split into 2 separate prayer scrolls. The Dexterous scroll unlocks Rigor, and the Arcane scroll unlocks Augury. So I guess the kind of reason they did this was to level out the price of both of them, so...
Yeah.
I'll just say what they said, their explanation for it. So given that Rigor is considered substantially more useful by a large majority of players, the price of Augury being tied to it made the cost outweigh the benefit for an overwhelming majority of players. With this split, Augury will be more accessible to those players who would like to make use of the prayer, and the cost will be more representative of the actual value of the prayer. So I'm going to pull them out now. We'll see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's definitely a good idea because, yeah, if I'd gotten the prayer scroll ever and I was actually going to use it, I would have definitely just thrown it on Rigor. So I never really found like the magic equivalent, I guess. Well, I mean, it's probably useful, but I think as a whole, you'd be using Rigor a lot more.
Yeah, no, you definitely probably would. So right now, the price difference is Dexterous Prayer Scroll. That's the range prayer. I'm sure that's obvious. It's 115 mil, basically, rounding up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's 113 mil. Okay, we'll say that. And the Arcane Prayer Scroll, magic, is 40 mil.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
So yeah, you definitely see they wanted to separate it a bit. Yeah, doesn't really make it. I don't have an opinion on it. So they've also increased the drop rate of prayer scrolls within the raid. So the way they said it here was, we have now made both prayer scroll rewards from raids twice as common. So both the prayer scrolls are both twice as common.
Yeah, hopefully that'll help fluctuate, I guess, the price of them, because they're ridiculously high.
Yeah, but the raid is still, I'm still going to say it's still fairly new.
Oh yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
going to take some time for it to sink a bunch.
Yeah, give it a year or two, and
yeah. Yeah, Deegan, take over the other news parts. My mouth's fucking dry as shit.
Yeah, no worries. So they've made an update to untradables in the wilderness and PvP and whatnot. So it used to be before, if you just died below level 20 wilderness, your items would be dropped. And the player would, be able to just get money instead of just, because you can't loot someone else's void. So now what they've done is just, if you were to die now, those untradables are just in your inventory. So I believe that's what the big change was, and it doesn't...
Oh, and then you don't have to go back and pick them up.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect the loot that your opponent receives. It's maybe just to prevent some sort of, rag issue, because I know, a year ago, I think it was Emily or some girl streamer went out to go PKing, and a group of people just, kind of ragged her, and they killed her and then camped her fire cape or something for 20 minutes until it just disappeared, for an hour or whatever, until it disappeared. So I guess, that won't ever happen again, but yeah. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, but if you're still above 20, the items are just gone. You won't get your full void if you die at 33 wilderness or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just random little changes. There was a cap with the twisted bow and the chamber of Zarek, the raid, and they removed that. They changed the costume room in your player owned house, so now you can store all your graceful sets. And Jonas, the owner of the Shiloh Village Furnace, he now has a coffer where you can just put your money in and he'll take payments out, so you don't have to waste an inventory slot, I guess, using his furnace. The Khazard Warlord, that was for, I believe, Trinome Village quest or something. It is, now an individual spawn for players, so that's a pretty big change, especially, when Deadman mode comes around again. People won't be trying to steal each other's warlords, and, yeah, you'll be able to get down that quest a lot faster.
You had that problem with an Iron Man episode.
Yeah, I remember that. The maniacal monkeys from Monkey Madness 2, like caverns, I guess, if you were to fall down or go down into like that little lower section, you used to be able to kill them and get zombie champion scrolls, and they've taken that out because they're not zombies. People were abusing like a little instance with the behemoth rat in the Evil Dave's lair, like in Edgeville, I guess, where you get your water and cook your food. You can go down that trap door, and they have those behemoth rats. I believe that's where they are. People were like getting skulled, and then they'd throw themselves into that instance area, and they'd fight the rats, and kind of wait out their skull timers. So they fixed that.
True.
Like now they're updating the timers within the raids whenever you finish a floor, so a little quality of life there. The last boss, Olm, when you're entering that area, there's now like a quick pass option, so just to save you time, I guess. It's a lot harder to like leave raids by accident, or because people were accidentally leaving like their clan chat, and then they would kick them out of the raid. So now you have to right click to leave clan chat. So that'll save you some wasted time, I guess, in the raid. And if you leave the raid by accident before you actually collect your rewards, the raid items will go into like a private storage for you. And if there isn't space in there, it just kind of gets dropped on the floor at your feet. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And the player-owned house armor case you can now put your ancestral robes and your corrupted armor in there. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And if you log out during teeth farming now, it saves your score section, but you can't like...
Oh, that's so huge.
Yeah.
When I was grinding out teeth farming, that happened. Like, I had DC, and like that was game over. Like, you'd waste 30 minutes.
Yeah. It won't like protect your crops that you've planted, but
Still.
Yeah, it's still like a really big quality of life change.
Because you have to grind out a bunch of crops before you start getting points. And the worst thing is like it takes you like two rounds of crops before you start collecting the points, right?
Yep.
And if you DC, then you basically just wasted time because you have to enter back in and do those 2 crops again.
Yeah, exactly. And with how the servers have been recently, it's good that they added it before everything's, because the last 2 days servers have not been that good. A lot of issues for me at least. But anyways, they did like some like little bug fixes, like the Vespula room, there was like accidental blocking that could happen, and they fixed that, and you can now pick up your gourd vials. You can grab like a full inventory at once, so that saves time. You don't have to click a million times. And that's the majority of it. Like, yeah, private storage unit in Quita Mortem, I believe that's how you say it. You have to use a bank entry or bank pin entry now, implying you have a pin. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, a lot of quality of life and little bug fixes. It's
Yeah, I'm glad. I hope they always tackle on these quality of life fixes, and they should constantly be seeing, like, we should constantly be seeing tweaks.
Yeah,
going on with like these newer items that come out and like trying to fix them till they're perfect. Right?
Yep, and I really do like how they're improving the player-owned house armor cases and the costume room, because I have to make a costume room, because as of right now, I think I have like 30 pieces of cosmetic gear or something. I actually had to drop a lot of it. Oh man,
I didn't even realize that's gonna be an awesome place to store a bunch of that shit.
Yeah, like I actually had to drop like my zombie gear and my whatever the random event is from the pheasants and stuff. I had to drop like a lot of that, because by the end of my
I don't even take it because of that.
Yeah, so like but
have the inventory space.
Yeah, costume rooms pretty OP, and you can now you have a reason to have more than one graceful set, because you can store everything.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty nice to see.
Awesome. Before we move on, do you want to take a little break?
Yeah.
I need to get some coffee into me.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, we'll be right back then. All right, and we're back. We're back from our 24-hour break, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of a break.
I was so exhausted last night. We had no coffee in the house. It was really too late to go. I couldn't just run to Tim's to get coffee, right?
Yeah.
So we had to shut that shit down for the night. But here we are back again. Let's talk about the raids now, because I think we're finishing up with the bosses, the final segment. So we're gonna go through all the bosses and basically the fight.
Yeah, explain the mechanics kind of and
exactly. And before we start, I just want to give a shout out to I want to recommend the video I was actually watching to get a lot of the information, because on the wiki and just all the other sources I was looking through, it was hard to get. You had to use multiple sources to gather all the information from the raids. I guess it's a little too soon.
Yeah.
But right now, this is definitely the best guide going out. So the name's Dark Puppetar to Enchant on YouTube. So yeah, I definitely put a lot of work into it. So deserves some views over there. Anyways, yes, let's start it off with Tecton. Do you know any of the boss fights?
I kind of do. I have an idea of some of them.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you'll be hearing some of this new, so you can give your opinion on it, I guess. I don't know. Your 2 cents. All right, so Tecton. He's the dude with the sword as one hand and the hammer as the other. He kind of looks like a rock-looking dude. So when you first walk into the room, you'll see him hammering his sword on an anvil. So the fight will begin as soon as a player basically steps a little too close into the room, too far into the room. He'll just start the fight. In the 4 corners of the room is fumes of smoke that will damage you if you're near. Don't stay. You don't really have much of a reason to go near them, so pay attention. Tecton has extremely high magic and range resistance, so stick with melee when you're killing this boss. And pray melee throughout the whole fight, because he's going to be using melee for the most part. Tecton will be 2 different colors. It's between orange and red. So if he's orange, that just means he's weak to crush attacks. And when he's red, he's weak to stab attacks. You want to fight Tecton on the opposite side of the room from where his anvil is. And you kind of, the strategy everyone's pretty much using, create a circle around him, all right? You kind of blocking his path towards the anvil, because periodically he's going to try to walk to his anvil, and he'll get there from time to time most likely. And when he does, he's going to heal himself 10%. And during this, it's kind of like a little animation. He'll be invulnerable, and he's going to be shooting out sparks from his hammer. So the sparks are going to shoot out to where players are standing, spread out, and just kind of walk back and forth so you don't get hit on the tile. If everyone's running around crazily, you're probably going to end up hitting teammates and shit, right? So each time Tecton comes off the anvil, you basically want to lure him away from the anvil as far as you can, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming it's to get more damage when he walks back to the anvil?
Yeah, basically when he walks, and maybe you can have a chance to block his path a bit and shit like that. So yeah, basically just do that and repeat until he's dead for the most part, right?
Yeah. So is it safe to assume that the Hasta is the best weapon for him because of the crush and stab weakness?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Another one is Varix as well. A lot of people are using Varix. So yeah, pretty straightforward fight for the most part. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Is Vespula. Vespula is the beetle-looking thing. All right. So when you get into the room's gonna consist of Vespula, an abyssal portal, and some grub on the ground, like 3 larvae. When you first start the fight, Vespula will be in flight. Okay, so it's highly recommended to protect from mage and to use ranged attacks during this part. Be aware that Vespula can also poison you, and the tick damage starts at 20. So have an anti-venom or some anti-poison potion or the serpentine helmet. So with the grubs, they'll have a health bar that'll be ticking down just throughout the fight. Basically have one person who's running. There's going to be these an item on the ground that's a blossom that you can kind of pick up. Have someone grabbing them and running them back to the grubs to feed them. If the health bar gets down to 0, it'll hatch a bug, and it'll hatch a Vespine soldier, which is going to heal Vespula, and it'll also heal the portal. Once Vespula reaches 20% health, she's going to land on the ground, and at this point, she can only be damaged with melee. So have one person tank Vespula while the rest focus on the portal with ranged. Vespula will eventually regenerate and take flight once again. Repeat until the portal is destroyed, and you will win. And repeat until the portal is destroyed, and you defeat the fight. You defeat the boss. Next, we're on Vanguard, which is 3 different monsters. They look like oysters and shit, and they'll shoot out, like, some of them will have, like, tentacles and shit that'll pop out, okay? So in order to defeat the Vanguard, you have to damage all 3 of them evenly together. If any of the individual Vanguard monsters get away, like, if they're not in between 20% of each other's health, all 3 of them will heal to full HP. Each Vanguard will attack with a different combat style and is also weak to a different combat style. The one that looks like it has rocks on it, it attacks with range and is weak to melee. One of them will have tentacles coming out. It attacks with melee and is weak to mage. And the mage is the one that has no tentacles and it's weak to range. At some point, like, periodically throughout the fight, the Vanguard will move into its shell and it'll be invulnerable. So you just have to wait till it pops back out and continue the fight until they're dead.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the WoW raid from Mists of Pandaria, the Rookie Sun fight, where you're just trying to damage. And there's like one of the newer raids out in WoW has the same type of thing where, yeah, you're pretty much just either burning both or all the bosses at the same time, or if you guys are really coordinated and if everyone has Tribrid, then, you know, doing about 15% damage and then swapping over and over again.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess there's 2 little strategies just depending on how evenly matched all the players are and stuff. You know, if everyone can DPS in their certain attack style at the same rate, it's probably better just to focus. But that, yeah, kind of requires good communication and someone watching all the health pools.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what that one reminds, because you see these a lot in a lot of different other games.
Yeah, it's not too hard of a boss mechanic. It just requires like a little bit of teamwork. Like someone has to pick up the reins and kind of announce health and force people to swap.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Seems pretty easy.
All right, next is the Mutadil. So there's 2 different Mutadils in this fight. There's a small one that starts on the land, and it starts with a small one on land and one large one in the water. You're also going to see a meat tree in the same room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically forced to fight the small one first, and the small one attacks with melee and ranged attacks. So while this is going on, the one in the water is going to be using a mage attack that's going to be hitting all 3 players, and it can use all 3 different combat styles. The small Mutadil will try to eat from the meat tree to replenish health. You can block the Mutadil you can block the mutt. I'm going to call it mutt from now on. It's just easier. You can block the mutt with players, or you can cut down the tree to prevent it from healing. And you can also freeze it in place with the ZGS and Ice Barrage. Once the small one has died, the large one's going to come out of the water. And basically the same thing for that fight. Just this time he's going to be able to use all 3 attack styles, and he'll have a shockwave move he's going to use every now and again.
Okay.
Oh, and yeah, that thing looks like it's like a crocodile, dog, turtle looking thing. It's supposed to be like a mix between a dog and a crocodile.
Huh, that's kind of weird.
That's the mutt.
Yeah, the Mutadile, I guess. That's how it... Yeah.
Next, we have Vasta Nisterio. I might call it Vasanistro, because I've been calling it that for a long time now, and I had everything, like all my notes are written Vasanistro, and then I realized I made a mistake, so they're all just like crossed out and shit.
Yeah, you can just call it Vasa or something.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I might call it. Anyways, when you first enter the room, there's going to be a pile of rocks on the floor. There'll be a small animation where it's going to transform into the boss. Once that's complete, the fight begins. Vasta Nisterio will teleport players and deal percentage-based damage, and it can kill you during this. So I was trying to do like research for this and figure out what the damage is based off of. It's still up for debate. People don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
But they think it's based on percentage-based health on your whole team, because it can basically one-hit you. There's a chance that it could. I was seeing it hit like 85s and stuff.
Jesus.
So yeah, that happens. Protect from range is recommended during the fight. Vasta Nisterio will start walking towards a crystal. You're going to see crystals, like 4 of them in the room. So she's going to start walking towards one. Once he reaches the crystal, he's going to start to heal. Basically, once he starts healing, destroy the crystal as fast as possible. And once the crystal is destroyed, he will teleport players and kind of do that attack again and repeat until the boss has been killed. All right, and now the last one is the Great Olm, the final fight. So the Great Olm is always the last boss of the raid. Every time, and once you get there, you know it's over once you finish them. So the Great Olm has between 3 to 5 different stages, depending on the amount of players are in the party. In this fight, you're going to be fighting both of his hands as well as his head. Like, they're going to be appearing over a ledge. You'll be fighting from there. So when you're looking at the Great Olm, the right hand is weak to melee, and the left hand is weak to magic. And the head is also weak to ranged. Prey Mage is recommended throughout this fight. So one of his hands is going to be casting magic attacks and can cast some magic spells. I don't want to say it's the one that's weak to melee in case I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. That's usually the best one to try to take out first, but occasionally it's going to cast a healing aura on the hand, and the damage you do to the aura is going to end up healing it.
So I'm assuming when that happens, you switch hands?
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know what else you would do, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and throughout the whole fight, Praying Mage is recommended. Once both hands have been killed, you will have to dodge falling rocks as well as lightning. All right. The Great Olm has 3 different phases of attacks it's going to use: crystal, acid, and flames. Crystal bombs will appear and explode in a 5x5 square. Move away from the bomb to avoid damage. Pools of acid will appear. Just don't stand in it, but a player may also be chosen to spawn pools of acid where they stand. The strategy used is to turn on walk and kind of just walk around your teammates, or walk under them if you don't like one of them. For flames, the Great Olm will shoot 2 lines of fire with 1 tile in between, kind of meant to kind of trap a player in between them. Water spells can be used to put out a tile of fire. And this would be used to let a player escape if they're stuck in there, right? And part of the also flame phase, players will shout one of 2 different dialogues: "Burn with me" and "I will burn with you." To put it simply, you'll take damage if you're standing near someone of the opposite dialogue. The strategy, basically, what you're going to want to do is spread out and have one of the groups just go to the opposite side of the room until the end of that phase, or until the end of that part of the phase. In each stage, the Great Olm will also have a new attack he's going to use. There's a total of 5, so I'll go through them. Number 1, crystals will spawn underneath. Just click 1 tile off, because they'll do damage in about 3 ticks. So click off as soon as possible, just 1 tile off. Number 2, 2 players will pair with each other, both having a white... 2 players will pair with each other, both having a white aura. The closer you 2 are, the less damage you guys are going to take when the Great Olm teleports you to. Number 3, a player will receive a red aura. Crystals will fall directly on you and any other players. A strategy is to walk in a straight line, avoiding other players. So it's kind of the same as the pools of acid. Number 4. Lightning bolts will move in a straight line, damaging and disabling your prayers. Number 5, Great Olm will shoot out 3 different orbs that damage and disable prayers. The 3 different orbs are purple, green, and red. And when he shoots one, he's going to say a dialogue in chat. So for purple, he's going to say, "The Great Olm fires a sphere of magic power." The Great Olm fires a sphere of magic power your way. Your prayer has been sapped. During this, pray magic. They're all pretty straightforward. So for green, instead of a sphere of magic power, he's going to say accuracy and dexterity. Pray range. And red, he's going to say aggression, pray melee. So go through that until you get to the final stage. Once you get to the final stage, both hands must be killed at the same time, or else he will revive the hand that dies. During this stage, he will use all 3 different phases. During this stage, he will use all 3 phases of attacks, but he's also going to spawn blue portals on the ground. If nobody is standing on the portal, he will damage between 15 to 20 damage per portal. Take down the 2 hands, take out the head, and then you're done. You finish the raid, open your chest, get your goodies.
Yeah, I kind of like Olm.
Yeah, I
like all the various mechanics that you're gonna need to learn.
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming because, like I said, my account's not really good enough to get to do the raid, so I had to go through, watching videos and reading guides and just shit like that, and there was a lot to take in. I was like, holy fuck, there's like 3 to 5 stages and 3 different phases, like, what?
Yeah.
But it seems pretty cool. I like it a lot. I like all the bosses. I think they're all pretty well done.
Yeah, I think they definitely put a lot of work and thought through at the bosses.
And I love the mechanics they did for them and just everything. And it just, it goes to show, like, if you're creative enough, how much you can do. You know what I mean? There's just the possibilities with RuneScape are almost endless.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty cool. Any boss stand out to you that seemed impressive in design?
I mean, I've rated a lot on like a bunch of different games. And
okay, so is there anything that you were just like, that's impressive?
Well, most of these mechanics
you'll encounter in other games.
I'm used to, I'm pretty familiar with them, except for it's not even the bosses, it's the friggin' crabs, like, which is one of the rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that was like probably like the most unique thing in the raids. I mean, like, yeah, they definitely do a good job of like how they come upon like certain mechanics and how you deal with certain bosses and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like, I think they have like a really good variety because nothing's worse when you do a raid and it's like tank and spank this, tank and spank that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one mechanic. All right, well, we can cheese it by just stacking up over here. Like, yeah, if you're just with a group of people, it seems like a good time.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like any of the bosses are like stupidly complicated just to be complicated, like, or you got to send one player to take this key, run around here, and this player has to go do this while you're doing that. You know what I mean? Pushing this button at this time. A lot of them are like, they won't be. I don't see them being too tedious to have to farm.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, they have like a really good variety. I mean, I don't know. We'd kind of have to ask someone who's done the raids like 80 plus times at this point. They might have a good.
Yeah, they're just looking at them though. They seem pretty good.
I mean, I think like I'm almost ready for them. Need to get my magic up a bit more, and I should be good to go. So I want to get ready to do raids and
then start carrying people through. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely not good enough to carry people.
Oh, soon enough though.
Need a max account for that stuff.
20,000 foot journey starts with a single step.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so there we are for raids for bosses. Pretty cool. Yeah, I can't wait to get in. I want to just kind of power out my account now. I wanted to make it like PKing, like a pretty good PKing account. So I have my 75 attack and 70 defense with like 97 strength, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm debating on just like power leveling my attack and defense as well.
Yeah, like I did the exact same thing. I stopped at 90, I think. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll go PKing for a bit. And then I realized after like a day or two, I don't even enjoy PKing at like a level 100 bracket. I like the low level PKing more. So I just said fuck it, and I just like leveled everything up to base 90s.
I like it a lot. It's pretty fun. I'm also really bad, so it's like a huge rush the whole time, because if I actually do kill someone, like, I'll probably have a panic attack and then get rushed by someone who died.
Yep.
Which actually did happen once, so yeah, good for me. Yeah, I think we should bring this one to an end. You're sick. I'm fucking exhausted. Work's crazy.
I am. I'm dying over here. I have to keep muting my mic to blow my nose and cough. It's awful.
Yeah, so definitely been an off week for us. That's the way she goes.
Yeah, I think hopefully I'll be better for next week, and we'll crank out something, and not have a different topics. We're not always talking about raids.
Anything you want to say for next week besides what? Soup and fucking dying being in your near future?
I mean, if I'm sick for next podcast, I'm gonna be really pissed. Like, I hate being sick. It's the most frustrating thing, in my opinion. It's awful. Everything is awful. And
yeah,
it's
I guess it's two different situations. Like me, I'm just like, it wouldn't be too bad. Like, I wouldn't be at work. I'd just be at home, and sure, I'd be dying, but at least I could be dying in my like bed, maybe watching TV or something.
Yeah, but after like the third day, it really isn't worth it. Like
plus you're paying for school, right?
So. Yeah, I was doing some bursting and stuff last night, and I was so sick. It was just awful. And then today I was just laying in bed all day. Like, I didn't go to class, and I'm like, oh, I'll go play a game of CS, and it was just awful. Just could not enjoy any games or anything. I just laid in bed and watched Netflix and stuff.
Still not bad. It's a pretty good life, my friend.
All right, let's wrap this up so I can go my bed and die.
Yep, sounds good. There's the cue. All right, guys, thanks for listening. And there's the end of our rating into the new year.
Yeah,
as hope we're getting into February.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's pretty fun. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited that we
definitely be able to go. We'll definitely be able to talk about it better once we're able to do it. You know what I mean?
Once we
know the fight.
Yeah.
Because definitely, I know from like playing like other games like WoW and like Destiny that watching the fight and learning it through a video, like no matter how many times I would watch a video and guide for a certain fight, I would still not be able to do it the first time. I'd have to try a few times.
Yeah, you really got to be used to it.
Yeah, so definitely different to actually do it, right? So,
yep.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a good one.
I'll see you next week. I don't. Hopefully, Deegan will too.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, guys, have a good one.
All right, see ya. To stay up to date with show news, RuneScape news, or just shit posts and hang out, you can find us on Twitter at TheWildernessRS. You can feel free to join our Facebook group at facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. We also have a YouTube channel set up, so feel free to check us out by just searching the name of the show on YouTube. You'll also see it over at Twitter and on Facebook as well. We also have an email set up, so if you want to get in contact, maybe have some questions or something you want to hear discussed, a story you want to tell us, or just some feedback, you can email us at thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a Discord set up. And if you feel like you want to join and maybe hang out, play with some other scapers, just let us know. Send us a message and get in contact and we'll get you in there. Thanks again for listening. We can't appreciate it enough. Have a good night.